Hi, I'm Aldyn, and I am doing a astrological sun sign reading for everyone who commented, and also just if you happen to catch this video in a timely manner or whenever you decide to watch it. I'm sure that information will be perfect for you. That's my intention. So what I'm going to do is all 12 signs, and I'm going to do them per element: earth, air, water, and fire, with 4 different decks per element. And in case you don't know, I'm also going to mention which like if your sign is at the beginning, middle, or end of the season, to kind of also give you that gist of maybe if you're more of like a kind of stable, do something, stay in the middle of the same thing for a long time, more of a starter of certain things, or a completer who puts on finishing touches, and then depending on what your sign has to do with, it can just be helpful to know and feel into how that applies to you specifically. Great, so let's get started. I'm just trying to think if I have anything else to say. Don't think so. So the first deck I have is Nature's Whispers, and I'll be sure to make sure you guys can see that the right way. So let's see. Right, I was going to do this one for water. Water signs. Yeah. So, wrote it down so I don't forget. We're going to start with the Cancer, the Crab here. And they're very well shuffled because I forgot that I actually shuffled them before I started recording, so that I wouldn't have to do that. So they're extra shuffled. I guess that's how they're just supposed to be. So great, let's get started. We've got Intuition. Let's put that right in front. Hopefully you can see the whole thing, and I would really appreciate it if the camera would focus. Forgot about that issue. Haven't used this camera in a while, so you can see it pretty well. Yeah. Great. So, Intuition, number 36. That tells me, there's something having to do with communicating your feelings, at least inwardly, like really getting in touch with your emotions and letting them flow, to that love in your heart, where your twin flame is too. So if you're having kind of blocks because you're feeling such intense feelings, like upsets, or on the other end, if you're holding on to upheaval instead of letting that go, you might be blocking yourself from allowing yourself to just like feel the flow, the natural flow of love, and let that expand. Like, it's not scary. Like, if a river gets bigger and floods, if it's love, then it's a good thing. It's just bringing like good to everything. So it's safe to just like float on that river and enjoy the ride. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about Cancer. Also, right, Cardinal, so that would be kind of like the initiating, and Cancer always makes me think of home and domesticity in some kind of a way. If that's your sun sign, then there's something, some kind of purpose there for you in one way or another. and also ruled by the moon. So, you know, pay attention to the moon. Get in touch with that. Great. So, yeah, I'm going to keep on pulling cards from this deck. That's right. Next would be, let's see, we're going to do Scorpio next. So, Scorpio, be in service. I'm just going to have to be okay with the fact that these cards are not as clear as I'd like them to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pictures of these cards. It might take a little longer, but I'm going to put pictures of these cards below the video in my either my blog or whatever page on HarmoniousTwinFlameUnion.com where you can go and see this whole reading recorded. Great, so be in service. It's definitely underwater, and she's really enjoying doing something for this cute little seahorse. So there's something here about, like, you don't have to try to go deep to get to the core of what's going on. Actually, sometimes you really just need to stop and enjoy the fact that you're giving and receiving of that joy of giving is enough, and let that lead you into whatever is coming up, because you can't really heal your upsets from a place of feeling really upset. You have to extend peace and love to that place that is upset in you. And so, yeah, it's just about staying with that and going deep from that place. So Scorpio, to me, is always like about going really deep, and so that's why I bring that up. And as a fixed sign, then there's some stability there in doing that, and not really having to maintain that once you really get the hang of it, you know, unless you choose to slip out of it, because, you know, if you choose fear, and you never have to do that. So yeah, you can just align yourself with God there and feel good about it. And yeah, again, a water sign, so very emotional, going deep into those emotions, and not being afraid, I mean, to give from that like emotional place, like sharing your feelings is stable and it is enough, and showing other people how deep you're willing to go can be really relieving too. That can be a part of your purpose. And if this applies to your twin flame, because your twin flame is a Scorpio or a Cancer, which I just went over, then you can feel that in your heart and how that energy applies to you, since you're both one consciousness, without trying to, like, you know, grab at it or wrap your mind around it, but just like how that makes you feel, knowing and feeling that truth about them and how it applies. Okay, so we have Pisces at the end of winter. Yeah, like Aquarius is going to be in the middle of wintertime, and then as you go into springtime, like right before it starts, you're going to have Pisces, the symbol of the fish, and that is also a water sign. So that'll be the last one, immutable. That can have to do with like putting on those fine details, those finishing touches, yeah, there's a lot of like kind of specifics there to look at and to be in touch with, and like to not numb out to that that like really particularness or try to like control it and be like perfectionistic about it. That could, you know, particularly apply maybe to Virgo. Although I feel like all the signs, I feel like that too for Gemini ascendant, which I am. Which is not a sun sign, that's like your rising sign. That's how like you come off to the world, more or less. So that's a bit of a tangent. I'm going to move on. Renewal of peace. Very nice. Oh, such a nice message for Pisces. Like, go ahead and take some time to be peaceful with your feelings. Allow all of the doubt or, you know, whatever it is to really fully clear as you're doing your spiritual work, and just feel really at home in that clarity and the new ways that you're able to express your emotions and get in touch with them, and how good that feels also in being able to share that with your twin flame somehow, you know, even if it's in your heart, even if you don't know your twin flame. Yeah, really sweet, peaceful, love it. I think that's it for that. So, 3 for each, 4 decks, that's 12. Yeah, I'm just like doing the math here. Yeah, not as much of a math person, but I could do my multiplication just fine. So we're gonna go on to Earth, and thought for Earth it would be fun to do Eternal Crystals Oracle cards by Jade. I don't know if I said the last deck was by, I don't think I did, Angela Hartfield, but that's Nature's Whispers, just, you know, to give credit where credit is due. Alright, let's do this. Okay, shuffling one more time, so we're going to be really well shuffled. Okay, so Capricorn Cardinal, I'm a Capricorn sun sign. Amethyst, Intuition, Third Eye Chakra. Great, love Amethyst. And these cards are very shiny, so there's a lot of reflection. Good thing I'm going to take pictures of them too. But still, you can see how beautiful that card is, and you can really pick up the energy of it too in that Amethyst. I love Amethyst. So yeah, really about like letting new things be really like letting them in clearly, not like trying to attach old ways or old like ways of thought to the new things that want to enter your life, because you're getting more in touch with your desires. So just allowing the new in and surrendering to that, and you know, still heeding your intuition, like if you feel something's off or whatever, but not letting it get in the way of giving your energy to the thing that, you know, feels out of alignment, but instead just focusing on the resolution there. And this will allow you to activate the new thing much faster, whatever it may be. And yeah, that has to do with Cardinal too, just that kind of jumping on into something new, starting things. Yeah. And next we have, for the fixed sign, right, Taurus. Rose quartz. I love that for Taurus. Very like Venusian, Venus. Taurus, Venus, yep. So rose quartz, Taurus, makes me just think about, you know, that really pure enjoyment of the easy things on earth to enjoy. Rose quartz, like I remember, like, I don't know where, going on hikes and stuff and seeing it around as a kid. Like, it makes me think of something that's really easy to enjoy in abundance, and that speaks to love too. And the kind of love that I feel with rose quartz is very universal. Of course, like, it's also for your twin flame, because you love your twin flame. And in truth, you know, the love that you have in your heart is for everyone. So you can also feel safe in loving the whole world from this easy place. You know, let it be easy to love, and not like feel stagnant in that place, or like you have to like do something particular to access your love. Actually, just like kind of giving it, not from like a place of leaking your energy, or obviously, you know, or romance with someone who isn't your twin flame, but just giving God's love through you to everyone in a way that feels good, can really help you ground down and open your heart up more to also receiving more love and more abundance too. I feel like that's really where this is going with this card, is letting abundance be easy, and not feeling like abundance, you know, financial or otherwise, just feeling really good about what's in your life, even materially, and enjoying that. It doesn't have to feel like some kind of royal, like above you experience. It can just be like a very easy flowing feeling, and that feeling helps really attract that into your reality more and more so. So that is that. Great. And then I have, Zinsight. I don't know, I used to say like Zinkite, but I don't think that's correct, so what I said first. Oh, finally focused on this one. I'm not surprised. That's funny. Yeah, so what are we doing? Earth, mutable earth, Virgo for this one. So like I've seen like a few different interpretations of this crystal, like also having to do with cleansing and creativity, which I think is an interesting combination. And also it being very kind of like activating, so not necessarily a crystal that you want in your immediate space all the time. And I guess what that speaks to me is just like allowing energy in and out without like feeling the need to hold on to it. So if there is a really like activated place within you, whoops, my computer just went for a quick nap there. If you are feeling really, like activated somewhere, you don't need to get stressed out that that's like how you're gonna feel forever. Or if you're feeling like extra creative, just allow it to be, but don't hold on to it and feel like you're like taking on too much. It's also like a part of cleansing and reestablishing that kind of creative flow in a new way with God, like new and improved, upgraded way, and like letting all of those colors, just like a prism of light, come together into white light. So just like, allowing that those feelings to occur and to shed light on even deeper desires in your heart. And mutable, you know, so those details. So this might be going to like the really, really seemingly small places within you where you have desires, and really by activating something that feels really palpable, like worth your attention in pursuing. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that one. Number 44 too, worth noting, I think. So we are now done with the crystal cards, and we are going to move on to, I'm actually going to have a sip of water so like that I'm not clearing my throat. Very good. Alright, so now we're going to go on to, what was I going to do? Fire. I chose these cards for fire. Again, I just like automatically start shuffling them. If they're already shuffled, so really don't need to, so I did cut them now. It's Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue. So, anyway, yeah, I chose these like for fire. I just think of like how kind of direct these cards are in delivering a message and communicating something. So I thought that would be good for this. And we'll start with Aries cardinal. That is my moon sign. The Sun, Archangel Uriel. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. I love it when I pull this card because it generally means like, hey, you know, you're doing something right, a decision you weren't maybe 100% sure about. Well, like, it's if you're doing it with God, it's just like reassuring you that you have really cleared something, and you're attracting something new to you. So have confidence in that. Like I've seen around on the internet like a couple times lately the word Godfidence. So yeah, just like confidence in working with God and your life purpose. Especially feel like sunflowers and butterflies, you know, really speak to that kind of transformation, sun energy, and stepping into something new, which also has to do with Aries, you know, initiating impulsiveness perhaps. And I mean, impulsiveness is not like a bad thing. It just means acting quickly, but you also want to be really just really in a space of love all the time, especially if you're someone who does things quickly. Like you can get so much accomplished that way, but you can obviously then do some things, some fiery things that are going to have, you know, cause you to have to learn and have some contrast in places where you're not with God. So it's a really good encouragement to just allow that divine relationship into your life even more deeply. And this next step that you're taking can really give you more confidence to let more God in, because God really, really wants to be with you in this place. So that's that. And then fixed sign, right, fire, Leo, the sun sign, the sign of sun. Ooh, got another angel here. Archangel Shamuel. I always like to get his guidance. I find he's actually very humorous. in communicating with me. Life experience. So a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. Well, we are in the time of Leo right now, and I feel like this can also be like for everyone. I mean, this whole reading is for everyone. That's why I'm recording it. But yeah, I think right after the energy, whether or not you have heard of or attended a recent workshop by Jeff and Shalia. The talk was at in Toronto, I mean, and yeah, not at, in, and just the new level, the coming together that is being ushered in as a result of love leading the way, you know, for that to happen and take place, and yeah, for them to be able to show up for everyone in that way, and really usher in more love that's already in truth. You know, that's what we are. We're all love, but it's a significant life event, and I feel like if you're a Leo, this has a special message for you. I mean, you may really enjoy kind of reveling in your own brightness in a way, and when you do that from a really divine place, it is really attractive to everyone, of course, including your twin flame, and it's safe to embrace that and to show other people your light and your brightness, and to walk the path with all that you are, and let that be easy, and remember that you do not have an ego at all. So in letting go of your fears and trying to relate to that somehow, you're able to spread your wings. Yeah, spread your wings and take off. Cool. That sounds good to me. And then lastly, Sagittarius, the kind of bow and arrow, the archer. Oh, very earthy Sagittarius time over here. Okay, 8 of Earth. And yeah, you can't read that, so that's alright. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic. Going back to school. Yeah, to me this speaks to I'm just like getting adventure. I think I do equate Sagittarius with like kind of adventure, even if it's inward, like spiritual expansion feels like an adventure perhaps for you. And so this can be a good time to embrace that. And whether you're more outward or inward oriented in general, or at this time, let the interest, that's whatever's sparking your interest spiritually, like go move towards it, whether it is in a book or somewhere, and yeah, allow it to envelop you if it really feels like something that God's leading you towards. Then go for it and feel that expansiveness of fine-tuning something that you were wanting to perhaps know more about for a while now, but like the space has been cleared to really allow for you to receive information in a new way. And I mean, this can also speak to just simply watching Twin Flame Ascension School and getting something new out of it, and letting those more refined feelings, especially if you've already watched it, or I mean, if you're watching it for the first time, it's true too, but letting those more refined feelings like bring you into a deeper, more sacred place with your twin flame as well. Yeah, and so, yeah, again, going back to that detail-oriented kind of thing with the mutable sign and finishing things. And then lastly, there are some chakra cards. Right, I believe I shuffled these two. Yeah, good, but I'm going to shuffle them one more time. And then we're going to start with, right, air. We're doing air now. This reading is a little bit longer than I thought, so I hope that you're enjoying it. It is the first YouTube video that I have made in over a year, so I definitely have had to clear some blocks to being seen, so I appreciate you taking part in it, and yeah, I hope you're getting a lot out of this. Anyway, so 20, play. Sounds good to me. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So green is your heart chakra. And this playing energy, of course, they're underwater, these dolphins. But I think there's something here like being communicated with that kind of free, balanced energy that Libra brings. And Libra is very relationship oriented and really likes that kind of like balance of having that easy feeling of a relationship, and so you can tap into that place in your heart where you you know that it's easy, like, to have a relationship with your twin flame, right? Because the lie is that you have to give something up to have a relationship with someone, which would be like the old false paradigm, I guess you could say, of having like a soulmate, false twin flame, whatever you want to say, relationship, and letting your energy for play, like, go towards your twin flame when it feels appropriate, and also sharing that with yourself and with the world, and also deepening your love for God in that place that feels really like innocent and free and childlike, and not feeling like that has to be something that you have to like trade your maturity for. It's safe to be playful and to also know that you're an adult and that you can access that inner child that is really peaceful and really loving. Yeah, so you can try also feeling into memories you have of playing, and heal those too if you have upsets around how it was to play with other people. Whatever upsets you have, this could be a really good time to do that and initiate that. So very good. We'll move on to the fixed sign of air, Aquarius. So even though Aquarius is the water bearer, it is an air sign and definitely very airy. Oftentimes pretty like cerebral, but also I feel like wanting to really get to know everyone in sort of like an equal way, in a way, I guess. Clarity. yeah, I feel like this speaks to just, how I want to say, like, getting clear on how you relate to people. Like, it's safe to share your brightness with people and also see it in them and have that be one thing. And of course, same thing for you and your twin flame. It is safe to really feel into that place where you require that brightness of knowing, of understanding, of logic, and not having that be separate to your heart and your personal desires. And so really marrying those things and not trying to differentiate what is love and I don't know, everything's love. What am I trying to say? Not trying to differentiate what is, I guess, what is in your heart and what is in your mind. Because what is truly in your mind is love. It is in your heart too. And I mean, your heart's all intelligent. So these are not two separate things. So not trying to separate your knowledge from your feelings. Really like feeling into that place where they're both one. And that's, that's like also speaks to your third eye and clarity there, and that will help bring more clarity, which is a really fabulous thing to be able to have a clear third eye. Wow, it's always really great to feel into that and have clear vision. So lastly, I think we're on the very last card now, would be Gemini and mutable sign. So again, focusing on those details of communication, and we have universal light, and kind of being at the very top there above the crown chakra even. So really, it's about receiving that brightness from God and allowing that in, letting that be safe, and also not falling into feeling ungrounded in that. So allowing yourself to feel grounded in the refinement of receiving new insights from the divine, and again, just like grounding that and allowing yourself to surrender to opening up to receiving more. So the more open you are to receiving and don't feel like you're gonna panic and be like, oh my god, my crown chakra, it's enough. The more you really kind of allow that natural sense of expansion and contraction to happen in your crown chakra, and then you can ground that and not feel like you need to either close off or open from a controlling place, just from a place where you're being with God and letting it happen organically, and it's also safe though to feel when it's actually happening and to experience that, and that mastering that, if you're someone who gets headaches, will potentially really help you with that. Of course, this is not medical advice. You can go and see a medical professional if you have any specific questions about that. Anyway, I think that concludes my reading for all 12 signs in all of the 4 elements with the different card decks. And I think I didn't show the last, so this is the last deck that I used. The Chakra Reading cards by Rachelle Charman, I think. So wanted to make sure I give credit, and I think that is it. So please feel free to invest in any services that I offer if you would like to go deeper into knowing more about your astrology and your twin flames astrology as well, is a way to help you get clarity on the energy of your purpose and harmonious twin flame union together. And I also offer coaching and workshops, and I'm just happy to serve you and to bring you closer with God through everything that I've learned, and just share that. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.